What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Today we got a patch in-game and an update on the Kickstarter page. Let's dive right on in and go over both of them. Now, first things first, the in-game patch. This patch was mainly balance and bug fixes. Starting off right at the top, Tornado Valley has now got ogres, y'all. So Tornado Valley on all difficulties will have ogres as it should be. If every other map's got them, why not on Tornado Valley? Well, it's got ogres now, so keep an eye out for those if you're grinding up any of the T-Valley. The Unbreakable reward that comes as a end of wave reward for no towers being destroyed is now per group if you're playing multiplayer. Previously, if you logged in and say you were on a DPS character and you didn't do any building, you would get that reward every single wave, regardless of what happened on the map, because you didn't build any defenses. Now it does take into consideration the entire group for this 25% XP bonus per wave. Rifted Dark Elf Warriors were removed from some of the lower difficulties. If you're playing through the game on Rift mode now, the Dark Elf Warriors will no longer show up until you get to Nightmare mode. So I think this is a good call here. The Rifted Dark Elf Warriors are quite the pain to deal with. They were always all the way back into easy, so they're not going to be on easy, medium, hard, or insane any longer. And you will not see these enemies until you hit Nightmare mode. Now for balance changes, today was all about the Squire, and starting off with the Circular Slice. As most folks know, the Circular Slice has generally scaled better from attack value than it has the actual Circular Slice value in the past. Now, the Circular Slice is a beast mode of ability and just wrecks it. Scales up as well with the Squire Shout, and oh yeah, good stuff, that Circular Slice. Now, the change that was made is the Circular Slice is now affected by the skill stat with its cooldown. So, for example, if we look at the Circular Slice here now, we see it's a 3-second cooldown. It's a kind of a little different time in between the 3 to 2 second down in the bottom right on the cooldown marker. If we take some of our points out and throw them into Circular Slice, just to check, we're going to see this gets scaled right on up. So now when I use it, the gap between 3 and 2 as it's counting down the timer is almost non-existent. So Circular Slice is scaling its cooldown now with the skill stat. Now for the Squire as a builder. We had some changes to the Bouncer Blockade and the Slice and Dice here today. Let's throw a Spike Blockade here just for example. 205,000 health. I've got my Tavern set to Massacre, I believe. I do indeed. And this is with 7,900 of the Fortify stat. Now the changes to it, let's start right with the Slice and Dice. The Slice and Dice is now only 6 DU. So that alone is pretty inviting. And additionally, it's 100 mana to place one. Now the amount of health scaling from the Slice and Dice was scaled up. You see it's 186,000 health now versus this 205,000 Spike Blockade. So definitely closing the gap a little bit between the health variance between those two. Now the Slice and Dice is a super fun tower. I can see this really opening up some usages for it, and I'm looking forward to checking it out, no doubt. Now additionally, the Bouncer Blockade had some changes as well. The Bouncer Blockade's health scaled up as well, so it's slightly more than the Slice and Dice tower now, yet it's slightly less than the Spike Blockade. Now additionally, the Bouncer Blockade was a little on the OP side for some uses, as it was actually bouncing the enemies back before they could take a swing on the defense. So making it kind of an OP defense in certain situations. That range has scaled down now. Obviously it's still knocking enemies back, but enemies are going to get shots in on the Bouncer Blockade now. Now, most of the changes here were bug fixes. I'm not going to go through all the bug fixes here. I will put a link down in the description below, though, so make sure to head on by and read the full patch notes. Now, as I mentioned, there was also a Kickstarter update. Now, the Kickstarter update was talking mainly about consoles. Links in the description below to it as well. The Kickstarter update is saying that, Switch is not out of the question. Switch is still going to happen. It's just Xbox is coming first. I think there was a few people questioning whether or not the game was ever going to make it to Switch, and they're saying that it's going to come to Switch, but there was problems getting it running on Switch, so they're focused on getting the Xbox out first, and then they will prioritize whether they wanted to get the game to PlayStation or Switch after that. We won't find out until after the Xbox releases. Now, on that note, we've known for a few weeks now that the game is in the initial certification through Xbox. This can be a lengthy process, as there's going to be lots of back and forth between Microsoft and Chromatic to get the game fully dialed in to pass that Xbox certification. It is deep into that process now, so it has gone back and forth multiple times. It's still not finished. However, as soon as it passes that initial certification, hopefully we will then get a Xbox One launch date. So looking forward to that as well. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to click that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Dungeon Defenders related news, strategies, builds, or just plain fun. Thanks again, y'all. I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.